Hey you guys, it's Shelby here, and welcome to this VinYin class. We're going to move dynamically in the first half and then chill out with some nice yin, gentle poses in the second half. I recommend you have a set of blocks, and if you have a bolster, you can grab that as well. But if you don't have a bolster, you can use a folded blanket, or I've got this lovely watermelon towel here outside with me. Just something that will add a little bit of cushion for one of the shapes that we're going to be trying on. So thank you so much for being here. And when you are ready, we're going to get started on your backs. All right, my friends, come on down to your backs. We're going to find a conscious resting pose. So bending the knees, planting the feet, almost like you're setting up for bridge pose. Make some adjustments of the hips, the shoulders, and really find a gentle balance of effort and ease here as you allow the back of your shoulders to fully soften into the earth. As you close your eyes or just soften your eye gaze. But find this very subtle energy and activation between the inner thighs and the lower core. Allowing the knees to point upwards towards the sky with that support. And just resting the hands, the palms, however you like. Could be up, could be down. And let's take a deep inhale through the nose. Fill your lungs. Open mouth, exhale. Sigh out whatever came before this moment. Again, like that, big breath in through the nose, expanding. Open mouth, exhale. Let yourself get planted here. And this time, as you inhale, reach your arms up and back behind you. We'll start to breathe in and out of the nose. As you exhale, flow your arms right back down by your side. One more time, inhale, reach your arms up and back behind you. Exhale, arms flow down by your side. Adding on. Inhale, arms behind you. Lift your hips, bridge pose. Exhale, lower your hips, lower your arms. Final time. Inhale, lift your hips, lift your arms. Exhale, lower everything down. This time, inhale, good morning stretch. Legs straighten out in front of you, arms reach behind you. Breathe here, stretch and extend through the shoulders, the toes, get longer. One more inhale. Exhale, hug your knees into your chest, rock side to side. Nice. We're going to make our way up here. So you can roll to one side and press yourself up gently, or you can rock and roll your way up if that's comfortable. Swinging the feet behind you, tabletop. Coming onto hands and knees, and let's just start to move freely on our own. So there's no right or wrong here. You might take some hip circles, some cat-cows, maybe just a little side to side. Maybe you flip your fingers in different directions. You might even close down your eyes here, really allowing the focus to be on sensation without any specific agenda, just waking up the body. Eventually, allow these intuitive movements to glide you into down dog. No rush to get there. And when you arrive, keep moving if it feels good. So you can bend and straighten through the knees, sway the hips. And eventually finding stillness when you're ready. Inhale, reach the right leg up high, bend your knee, open your hip, and you might circle the hips, circle the ankle, find what feels good. Coming back to a straight leg, squared hip, three-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, shift forward. Step your right foot between your hands, lower your left knee, half splits. Right leg straightens to the best of your ability. Option here to use your blocks. They have 3 height settings, so you can choose what best supports you. Nice work. From here, rebend your front right knee, plant your palms around the foot, and lift your back left knee. Seeing if you can tent the fingertips. Of course, your hands can still be on blocks here, fingertips on blocks here if that feels supportive. Hug the right hip back rather than allowing it to flare out. Lift through the core, so we're lifting up off of the thigh best we can. And can you hover the hands? Really strong here, you guys, for 3, 2, 1. Rise up, high crescent lunge, shoulders over hips, arms overhead. Engage the back left quad. Engage the low belly. Big breath in. As you exhale, we're going to come up, left knee to chest, cactus your elbows. Find your balance. Nice work. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, swim everything back through airplane. Left leg swims back. Think of lifting from the left inner thigh. Low belly is active. Nice and slow. Bend the right knee. Left toes land right back into your high lunge. Just 1 breath in. And on your exhale, warrior 2. Open up. Option to feel your hips here. Sometimes the right hip, the front hip, is kind of dipping down and we're like sassing, but I want you to feel for evenness in the hips. Notice your knee, your front knee. Is it caving in? Can you send it back? Hands are a direct extension of the shoulders. Breathing here for 3, 2, 1. We're going to lean forward into half moon. Option to use a block here. Right hand to the mat or the block. Left hand can come to your hip. And eventually, once you feel balanced, left hand to the sky. Now notice if you're dumping in, gravity is going to want to pull you down. I want you to lift up and out of the earth. So strong, you guys. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale, lower the left hand. Square your hips and shoulders to the earth. Hug your left knee in towards your nose. Inhale, re-extend. Make an L shape with your legs. Setting up for Ardha Matsyendrasana, exhale, both knees bend, and you'll set the left knee outside of the right foot to have a seat. So we're here with our right ankle crossed outside of our left thigh. If you want a little less, you can unravel that left leg and straighten it. Either way, right hand behind you. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, twist to the right, hooking or hugging the knee and the arm. Double helix, just look to the left. And then unravel to the left, counter stretch. Good. Come up through center, release your legs. We're going to come onto our back. Take it slow. Use your core. Think of scooping your tailbone underneath you like your spine is making a J. And slowly, slowly, we're going to meet in legs up the wall. Legs go up to the sky if you're outside like I am. And if you're inside, you can visualize a blue sky with some nice clouds floating. Okay. It looks nice out here. Point and flex your feet. Roll out your ankles. Good. And then I want you to flex your feet. We're going to crunch up towards our toes. I like to reach my hands up and exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Of course, you can go faster if you want, or you can just go with your breath, exhaling to lift, inhaling to lower. If you want to make this harder, you can point your toes. It's going to be much harder to get your fingers to reach your toes. You can see that I can't, but maybe you can. If you want to make it a little easier, you can make a pillow for your head and crunch this way. Honestly, sometimes I think for me that I feel more in my core when I support my head. But that's just me. I'm trying to keep my elbows wide though, rather than like using my arms to crunch me up like this. So really make sure it's coming from your core. Last 3, 2, 1. Lower your shoulders down, bend your knees, plant your feet. Make sure your middle fingers can graze your heels. And again, we'll inhale, bridge pose. If you liked arms up overhead, you can repeat that variation. You can also choose to interlace your hands underneath you. I just want you to stretch out your core here, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your inner thighs. Try to create a little more space between your throat, or rather between your chin and your throat. You know what I mean. Okay, breathe in. Breathe out, gently release. Walk your feet out a little bit wider. You can separate your arms wider, and we'll windshield wiper the knees side to side. Really nice. Hug your knees into your chest. And let's see if we can rock and roll all the way up into a forward fold, Uttanasana. Of course, if this does not work for you, you can gently ease your way up rather than the rock. My back muscles are so sore though, so that rocking felt really good, like a massage. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take your Vinyasa, step or float, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Right away, inhale, left leg sweeps up and back. Bend your knee, open your hip. And you might circle your hip, circle your ankle. Find what feels good. Straight leg, squared hip, 3-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose shift forward. Step between your hands, lower the back right knee, half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. Again, option to place your hands on blocks on any height setting. Breathing here. All right, so you're going to rebend your knee. You can bring your blocks forward or your hands, lift your back knee. And again, really think of drawing the left hip back to square. Firm up the right quad, engage through the core, press through the feet. Can you hover the hands? Just for 3, you've got this. 2, 1, rise up, high lunge. So strong. Firm up the right quad, extend through the arms. Inhale here. Exhale, we rise, right knee to chest, cactus the elbows. Find the balance. If you lose it, you can always tap down and reset. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sweep it all back, airplane. Legs and arms, tilt the heart forward. Think of lifting from the right inner thigh. Nice, you guys. Slowly, we'll start to bend our left knee, right toes land, high lunge. Coming out right back up, inhale. Exhale, warrior 2, open up. Once again, looking for evenness in your hips and really pressing the left knee to the left edge of the mat. Nice work, you guys. We're coming into our half moon, so you'll lean forward, left hand to the mat or the block, right hand to your hip as you float the right leg up, stocking hips, stocking shoulders. Maybe the right hand can reach up for the sky. Take up space here. Try not to dump down if you can. Really lift yourself up. Inhale. Exhale, right fingers down, square your hips and shoulders to the mat. Hug your right knee in towards your nose. Inhale, L shape, extend the right leg back behind you, setting up Ardha Matsyendrasana. Exhale, both knees bend, right knee tucks outside of left foot. And we have a seat. Left ankle outside of right thigh. Again, you can straighten your right leg if you want a little less. Left arm behind you, right arm up as you inhale. Exhale, twist. Breathe here. Double helix, look to the right. And then counter stretch to the right, unravel. And coming up through center, release the legs. Final little push here before we cool down in yin. Slowly lower down onto your back. Legs up the wall, straighten the legs up towards the sky. All right, take a few point and flexes of the feet, roll out the ankles. And then let's interlace hands behind the head. You can point or flex your feet, whatever's more comfortable, but some awareness ideally. I want you to curl up at the head, neck, and shoulders, and we're going to lower the right leg to hover. Only go as low as you can without feeling the low back arching, and then lift it back up and alternate left leg. So you don't have to go all the way down. Keep alternating. You might only go like halfway down if that's how you feel it in your core and not your low back. Because I want you to feel this in your core, not your low back. So if you need a little less, you can put your head down. Otherwise, we're going to stay lifted. And just 3. Keep breathing. 2. Good. Keep it going. I like to exhale on the lift, inhale on the lower. Last one on the right. Last one on the left. Both legs up. Hold. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders if they're not already for 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Bend your knees. Plant your feet. Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together. Knees open wide. Now, if this is too much for you, you can always put blocks beneath your outer knees, your outer thighs. Otherwise, you could just let your knees hang heavily towards the earth. Resting your hands wherever you like, maybe somewhere on your body. Maybe you outstretch your arms in any direction. Whatever feels good, settle into the pose. Close your eyes. And perhaps in this first yin shape, you can just start to notice the energy radiating through your body, energy that you created for yourself. Really just soaking in how you feel in this moment. Softening the muscles of your face. Relaxing the jaw, the mouth, the forehead, the cheeks. And resting back into the arms of the earth. And throughout this yin portion of class, I'm going to be a little quieter, so know that when my words are absent and the silence is spacious, these opportunities are there for you to just hone in on your breath. Recognizing that any thoughts, any wandering in the mind is normal and natural. And once you notice that the mind has wandered, you're back. Last few breath cycles. Great work. And as we prepare to exit, coming into a counter pose, you might use your hands to help bring your knees together. Soles of your feet will come to the mat. Ooh, feeling a lot. Soles of your feet will separate wide, feet wide, knees together. It's okay if your knees don't touch in the center, just bringing them towards one another. Saturate the body with breath and allow the sensations in your hips to simmer down. Beautiful work. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself some love. And then gently roll to one side and we'll ease ourselves up through seated. Setting up for our deer twist. I'm just going to flip around to show you guys. So if you have a bolster, then you're going to use your bolster. But if you have a similar setup as I do, blocks and a cushion, blanket or towel, you're going to put your cushion over your blocks so that it's kind of like a bolster now. And then, so it's on my right side, right above my right hip. So I don't want it to be like down here next to your hip, but rather above your hip, your whole bolster or your makeshift bolster. Feet as wide as your yoga mat. The knees will go to the right. You're going to take your whole torso over to the right. And I want you to notice here that as I lay my chest and head down, my right elbow is going to be, well, both elbows are going to be in cactus. So I'm coming onto my right ear. And sometimes I'll see people's arms like this, or I'll see people kind of like over here. But I really want you to just be kind of like you're snuggling your pillow in your bed. Now you can stay on your right ear, but if you would like more depth, you could turn onto your left ear. And just for the sake of me not crushing my microphone, I think I'll rest here. But know that if this is too much, you can always come back. Breathing here. About halfway through this side. Last few cycles of breath. And slowly start to press yourself up. It might feel nice to just roll back onto your glutes with the hands behind you and find a little bit of a lean back or a sway. I'm just going to do that on the second side, so no rush. I'll be flipping around here. And I just want you to move your bolster or your blocks with cushion to the left side, right above your left hip. Feet about as wide as your mat. Knees to the left. Your right knee will kind of stagger behind your left. I'm going to turn my whole body to the left. I'm noticing that with my setup, usually a bolster is a little longer, but if you have a setup like mine, you might need to also adjust so that your head is on it. You're going to take your chest and your left side of your face to rest here. And again, if you want to go deeper, you can take your right ear down. And just noticing how capable you are of softening. Recognizing that you are worthy of slowing down. And that you are doing enough already. Welcoming this rest. Could you soften your feet and your hands a little more? Last few breath cycles here. And slowly start to ease your way up. Once again, maybe rolling onto your glutes, hands behind you in a gentle lean or sway. I am feeling relaxed. All right, you guys. I'm going to come into caterpillar. Coming into caterpillar, or the yin version of Paschimottanasana, you can move your props here. And there's a couple ways to use them. So if you're a little bit tighter, you might just, well, first, if you're a little bit tighter, you might actually sit onto your bolster or your folded towel. Sometimes just elevating the hips slightly above the knees makes a forward fold so much easier. So this is one way to fold. Or you can have your knees slightly bent, have your blocks on either side, your bolster or your folded towel on top, and kind of rest in on here like so. So there's a few different ways. You may not need props at all, but I just want you to find your degree of comfort and fold as you rest your upper body over your lower body. Soften your head, your neck. Relax your jaw, your mouth. Relax your feet. And just surrender in. You might feel yourself sort of naturally going deeper, especially if you are softening to the best of your ability. And if you have the block and bolster set up, maybe you even lower your blocks to the middle height if they're on the high height. But again, please stay where it feels relatively comfortable. No need to push it here, as we do spend a little more time in these shapes than we do in other practices when we're approaching it from a yin intention. A few more breath cycles. And slowly roll yourself up, slowly. Hands behind you for support as you sit up, and maybe you lean slightly back. full cycle of breath. And we're going to make our way onto our back. And maybe you want your props within arm's reach. You have the option to use your props in Shavasana. As we set up for Shavasana here, you might have your blocks behind your knees, your towel behind your head. Perhaps you put just your bolster behind your kneecaps and nothing behind your head, but take some time to get comfortable here. Adjusting the back of the shoulders, adjusting the hips. If it happens to be chilly where you are, your towel or your blanket could also be draped over your body. Give yourself this time to really soak in the nourishment of this practice. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this VinYin flow. Honestly, I'm feeling amazing, so I hope that you are too. And if you do, I'd love if you would subscribe. I post a new video every Tuesday.